What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new season of the Friends Battle League, the FBL, here on the channel. It's season 3 of this Showdown Draft League, and we are getting into it with a national dex and a team of 16 Pokemon. So today we're going over our draft to see what you guys think of the team. I tried some different stuff for me. You'll see a couple of repeat Pokemon, the one direct, couple similar to our BBR analysis that probably went up first. If not, check out the BBR, the other league we're going to be in this draft season. We got Crown Tundramons, some of them, and we got everybody else. We got Megas allowed, Dynamax still not allowed, and Z-Moves not allowed. But let's get into pick number 1. Real quick, guys, before we get into pick number 1, if you guys are interested in supporting the Draft League team, we do have the Arkansas Pigknights merch. We got blankets, we got merch, we got blankets and merch. We got blankets, shirts, posters, all sorts of cool stuff like that over on the link in the description on Teespring, as well as our usual 3D Arcade merch. If you guys are excited, go ahead and hit that like button. Getting into pick number 1, though, I decided to start off this draft, again, starting number 1, go figure my luck, with Mega Tyranitar. The Rock Dark type Mega is a physical tank. It's a great fighting type. It's a great physical fighter. It's got good defenses. It's got a low mid-tier speed, but it can be kind of slow to work in Trick Room if we want it to. And it's an excellent sand setter, as well as carrying the Unnerve ability if we want it. The thing to note about this league is that your Mega is required to Mega Evolve before you're able to do anything with it in battle. So if you bring your Mega, it has to run its Mega Stone, and it has to Mega Evolve immediately. That's really all there is to say about T-Tar, because I wanted to get a second pick in particular. That was weird. Sorry, my desk was shaking, and I thought my phone was going off, but nothing was going off. Strange. Next pick was Excadrill, our first and I believe only tier 1. Let me actually get our full list of Pokemon up here. I failed to put it in front of me. Here we go. So yeah, we have the way this draft works before we go any farther. We have a Mega, 1 tier 1, 2 tier 2s, 3 tier 3s, 4 tier 4s, and 5 tier 5s. Big squad. So our tier 1 was Excadrill, the Steel Ground type. Perfect pairing for T-Tar because he's got Sand Rush, and Sand Force, which are great abilities with Pokemon who can set the sand, and we got the best, strongest sand setter next to Hippowdon, which is pretty freaking cool for us. He's also got the Mold Breaker option for anybody who needs to kind of turn off any powerful abilities, which is pretty nice. He's a physical attacker as well. He's a glass cannon. He's going to be pretty quick. He's got 88 speed, but that gets doubled to 176 base speed in gosh darn sand. So if we lead off with T-Tar and we get that Excadrill out in the sand, we can run like a Focus Sash or something on him, get us a Swords Dance up, go +2 in attack, have that speed, and just dominate a squad. So it's a pretty cool pairing, and that's kind of why I went for it. That's more or less our sand mode, but we'll get into another little extra bit of that later on in the draft. Next up, I decided to draft Blissey, the normal type. It's the first normal type I've ever drafted, but it is specially chunky as heck. Its HP is god tier, and it's just super hard to take down because it's only weak to fighting. It has a ghost immunity, which is pretty great as well. And it carries the natural, as far as singles abilities, which is what this is, it carries Natural Cure, which is going to cure status on swap out, and it carries Serene Grace, so anything that has a secondary effect is going to be great. It also has that egg move that I'm soft boiled to heal, so that's pretty great. Blissey's just there for a lot of defense. You'll see a lot of defense and a lot of physical on my team in this particular draft league. I decided to kind of do something different, and I mean, it's pretty balanced because it's a 16 Pokemon team, but I really leaned into some slower Pokemon and some different stuff that I wanted to do this draft around to try something different and expand myself as a competitive player. So next up, we drafted Konkelder, the fighting type. He is strong as heck, and he's got the Guts ability with that Flame Orb strat that you see often. So I'm probably going to run him that way at some point just to give it a go. He's pretty slow, but he's got good physical defense as well. He also carries the Iron Fist and Sheer Force abilities, which can help with his offensive output. But he's going to be a great fighting type for us, and he is going to be really fun to use in a Trick Room setting, which if you can't tell at this point, I'm excited to use a Trick Room setting in this league. Next up, we got Primarina. That is our copy over from the BBR. I actually did this particular pick in that draft first. I wanted Feeny in the other one, Primarina in this one. It happened, whatever. So we got Primarina here as our second tier 3 pick, and first tier 3 pick. And Fairy Water typing, great typing, excellent defense, lots of resistances, great move pool to be utilized. And it also carries a Flip Turn. It carries a Priority Stab, that one stab water move, Aqua Jet, thank you. And it also carries Screens, which is pretty good. So it's just got a lot of options, great coverage, pretty bulky specially, and kind of rounds out the team a little bit with some type coverage and some different stats. Next up, for our second tier 3, we picked up Tangrowth, the giant grass physical tank. It is a super high physical defense, great physical attack as well. HP is pretty decent and pretty slow, so good under Trick Room. And it's got some weaknesses in the special category, but you can run it with an AV to get it a little bit higher in the physical department. I want to say it's like 50, so it'd be like 80-ish. I mean, you know, it gets a little bit better. So either way, it's going to be a good, nice, bulky Trick Room setter, and it also gets that Regenerator ability, which is going to be great to pair with our next pick to give us that Regenerator core, which, by the way, also Primarina, the next pick, and Tangrowth are all part of a Water, Fire, Grass core. We'll pick up the Fire type a little bit later. But next up, we got Slowking, another Regenerator Pokemon with the Water Psychic typing, also super bulky. Great defenses, but especially special. Special attack's pretty good. He's also pretty slow and great in Trick Room, so he's going to pair a little bit better in this Water, Fire, Grass core than Primarina will in terms of working in Trick Room. He's got some great abilities in Own Tempo and Oblivious, but most importantly, like I said, has that Regenerator, so we can get that defense up, that Trick Room going, and that Regenerator core flying through the teams, and that is the fun of Slowking right there. So we don't have Galarian Slowking, but we do have Slowking in this one, so it is the way it is. Lastly, our first tier... Oh, sorry, that was our last tier 3. The tiers get all kinds of messed up, because basically in this league, Megas through tier 4, all great Pokemon. Tier 5, not amazing. So I want to move this one a little bit quicker because we don't have any fancy graphics for anything in this particular league, and I want to just kind of talk through it pretty quick. So let me know if you guys have questions down in the comments, as well as I mentioned in the BBR Draft League, battles start this week, so they'll start going up next week, and you'll be getting some team builders alongside the videos, and I hope you guys are going to have some fun with them. Next up, first tier 4, we got Goodra, the dragon type. Once again, there we do. We did have another direct copy, my bad. But again, kind of got limited on my dragon types here that I needed to pick up, unless I got a tier 1 dragon type. So we got Goodra, which is another great move pool, great defense, great attack, super specially bulky. It's amazing. It's relatively slow, but it's like 80, so it can operate in and out of Trick Room depending on the items and types of things you run on it. If we want to keep going on that specialty defensive side, throwing an AV on this thing, it's got like 180 special defense or something crazy like that. It's awesome. Next up, tier 4, we get to complete that Water, Fire, Grass core with Arcanine, which is probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest, outside of weather Pokemon on our team. It's got extreme speed, good speed in general, but extreme speed for great priority. It's got it can be a mixed attacker. It can run physical or special. Its defenses are okay, but it's just a great fire type overall, and it's nice to have that Intimidate Pressure as an option on the team. Next up for tier 4, we picked up a ground and ghost type in Rune Regus. Thought about Cofagrigus, opted Rune Regus just so we could get the defense, but also get that ground typing in here outside of our sand mode, because he's not really sand focused. He's a good Trick Room setter. He is a super defensive Pokemon. He's got access to Poltergeist and Earthquake, which are great moves on him. Honestly, he's just a fun Pokemon to get out there and be able to eat a lot of hits and still do some damage even with his low attack stats. Next up, we have another Glass Cannon in our final tier 4 pick of Selazal, which is a Pokemon that I loved from Alola. It's a fire poison type, so again, another option for that Fire Water Grass core. Our grass type is limited on this squad to Tangrowth, but out of Trick Room, we kind of have a Primarina Selazal option for well, Primarina is actually kind of slow, to be honest with you, but a Scarf Primarina is an option. So if we ran like Scarf Primarina, Fast Selazal, and then Tangrowth, we'd have a nice quicker core there to work with in that Fire, Water, Grass. And Corrosion is one of Selazal's abilities, which allows it to poison types, which is really cool. It might even be able to poison steel types, but I think it's specific to poison types. I'll have to look that up before we do this. Super Glass Cannon, special attacks crazy, speed's crazy, everything else is kind of low, but Selazal is just a really fun Pokemon, and I'm excited to use it. Next up, the last part of that sand core I was talking about, we do have the ground steel type, Steelix. So we did repeated typing here, but his defenses are insane, and he's also got some great abilities in Rockhead and Sand Force, and he's just got a bunch of really high, powerful, recoil moves to couple with that Rockhead get him in sand so he's not taking damage, but we can operate within it as an option once if Excadrill goes down, but we still have some sand to worry about. And he can just do a ton of damage and is really hard to take down, and I'm really excited to have him on the team as well. Next up, we got our budget ice type and budget Rotom in Rotom Frost, the ice electric typing. He is just outrageously good stats: Ice Beam, Defog, Volt Switch, good utility, good options. I just like him as a slightly more offensive Rotom, and he's a tier 5 pick, so I was happy to pick him up over Fan or regular Rotom in this case. And yeah, that's what we got. We have Levitate on him, so he's a ground immunity, as well as our next Pokemon, who is a Vikavolt, the Bug Steel type. Bug Electric type, sorry, who also has Levitate and is ground resisted, ground immune, sorry, who's also good in Trick Room. He's relatively slow, but he has amazing special attack. His defense is okay. Also has access to Volt Switch, just a different version of Rotom Frost, really. We kind of lose that ice type, obviously, but we gain the bug type and we operate in Trick Room better. So, just a fun Pokemon I like using. Pokemon I didn't really want to play around. Picked up Vikavolt. Coming up in our last 2 picks, we did need to get a dark type on the squad for that psychic resist. So we did get Scrafty, which is a pretty fun little pickup there. Dark fighting type, intimidate and moxie ability access. He's got pretty good defenses as well. So even though his attack is not amazing, he is physically oriented. And his defense is pretty good. And he's also operatable in Trick Room. We also got that dark type, like I said. Do we have a psychic type? Yeah, we have Slowking. So we have that psychic, dark, and fighting core in there. He kind of creates it by himself with Slowking, but you also have Konkelder as well. So psychic, dark, fighting core that operates in Trick Room, pretty cool. And I liked him. I thought he'd be a good option to kind of pick up and put on the squad. And our last pick in the tier 5s, which is the last pick of this 16 Pokemon draft, is Rapidash Galarian form to get another fairy type on the squad that doesn't have to operate like Primarina does, and it's a little bit faster. So it's going to operate better outside of it. It brings us another dragon immunity. It brings us Morning Sun. It brings us more fairy stab. It's got good speed. It's got good attack, and it's all right across the board. And in general, I've actually got Galarian Rapidash pulled up over here because I just kind of enjoyed this Pokemon. It's got Mystical Fire. It's got high horsepower. It's got Play Rough. It's got Psychic. It's got a Drill Run, apparently. Didn't even know that. Expanding Force. Like I said, Mystical Fire, Psychic Terrain can be brought about. It's just got a bunch of fun Pokemon, fun Pokemon abilities. It's also a Trick Room setter. It's a fast Trick Room setter, which is a nice way to maybe not have our Trick Room setter be the one that operates in Trick Room, but get out there and get it off before someone heavy hitting knocks a Trick Room setter out. But we do have Runerigus, Slowking, and Rapidash that can all set Trick Room. And lots of Pokemon operating well under it. Lots of good defenses, lots of heavy hitters. Just really fun to use. Probably going to be not stall focused, but more defensively focused this time around, so I don't have to worry as much about getting one shot. And so we do have our one-shot cores. We do have a couple of cores, which is what you like to see me do, but I'm also playing in Trick Room and more defensively than I ever have before. Kind of putting myself outside of that comfort zone, trying out something new to keep you guys entertained and help me learn more. Let me know what you guys think of the team. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and get excited for our week 1 battle against Cool Cat, and I'll see you guys there.